So, hello everyone. So, today our topic is ratio and proportion. So, I'm writing over here ratio and proportion. All right. So, this is our topic. You can see ratio and proportion. So, what is ratio and proportion? So, as we know that it is a very basic term which we use in our day-to-day lives to find out the ratio, what is the proportion, this and that. All right. So if I talk about the ratio is, a comparison between the quantities. Okay. So it is a comparison and symbol for ratio is, these two dots. Let's take an example. For example, I say 2 is to 3. Okay. So 2 is to 3 means it is a quantity in which we are comparing them in the form 2 is to 3. So these two dot is read as is to. Is to means the ratio. It could be like, for example, let's say in a class. Okay, so class of, let's say 50 students. Okay, there are in total 50 students in a class. Out of 50, like among these 50, let's say 20 are boys and they are boy. Okay. And 30 are girls. All right. So 20 are boys and 30 are girls. So if I ask you that what is the ratio for boys is to girls in a class? So you will be saying that 20 is to 30 is the ratio. Okay. Now, if I want to reduce this thing in a, we can reduce this thing, all right? So if I just reduced and just write down in the reduced form or the simplest form, it would be 2 is to 3. So what we are doing here with this 2 is to 3, we are just comparing with the number of boys present in a class to the girls present in a class. So the ratio for the students means basically total student is 50 and out of those 50, 2 is to 3 is the ratio for the boys. 2 is to 3 is the ratio for the boys means 50 out, like among 50 total is 50. So 2 is to 3 means 2 is to 3 means 20 are boys and 30 are girls, which could be written as 20, which could be written as 20 is to 30 and it will be 2 is to 3. Okay, so this is the ratio. What we are doing here, we are just comparing the number of boys with the number of girls, and that is how we have calculated the ratio. Okay, so now let's just come to the next topic, which is what proportion is. What, all right. So proportion is a very, basically is a thing in which we are just comparing two ratios. Okay. So comparison of four quantities. Let's say this is the thing. 2 is to 3 ratio. These four dots represent what? They represent proportion, and is to, let's say 5 is to 2. So whatever it is. Okay. So this is what proportion is. This is what the symbol of for proportion. So I hope in which now there is one more important thing. In proportion, this is what, like in which we are saying that two quantities, like first and second quantity, the ratio of first and second must be equal to the ratio of third and fourth quantity. Then only they are said to be in proportion. Okay, so ratio and proportion has, multiple use in our day-to-day life. For example, the very, accurate thing, or the best example, best suited example for ratio and proportion is, we all follow recipes, all right? So in a recipe book, or you are watching some video in which someone or chef is explaining about the recipe, that how you can, just prepare this meal. For example, that chef is considering he is, preparing food for, let's say, 4 person, and in at your home you're supposed to prepare food for 8 person. So what you have to do is you just have to double the things according to the same proportion. Means you cannot, the ratio means the proportion will be the same, but what you are going to do, you are just increasing the quantity according to the number. For example, a recipe is, given to you, and which, serves 2 person, and you are the only person in your house who want to eat that thing or drink that particular thing whose recipe is, which, is given to you. So what you just have to do is you just have to, half the ingredients, and the quantity of the ingredients, you just have to half them. You just have to, reduce the quantity according to your convenience, but the ratio, but the proportion in which you are, going to add things in that particular thing, the recipe will remain same. You just have to reduce the quantity or to increase the quantity as per your convenience. So there, this is the best suited example for ration proportion which we are using in our day-to-day life. So now moving forward, let's just, let me just change the page. Okay, now moving forward, it is given to you, very basic thing is what, uh, let's say, write in ratio. Okay, convert, like find, I'm writing it here. Find the ratio for, this is the question. You have to frame or just try to write it in ratio. Okay, let's say it's A part, like 1 day, like 1 hour to 1 day. So as you all know, like from the thing which we have done it, like till now we have discussed that in ratio we are just comparing the quantities. Okay, now but the quantities of that has to be same, means unit should be same. So we cannot compare hours with days, right? So first we have to do is we just have to convert either hour to day or day to hour. So it will be easy for us if we just convert 1 day. In 1 day, how many hours are there? We know it, 24 hours. Very good. So 24 hours a day is, we can, simply write, instead of writing 1 day, 24 hours can be written in place of 1 day. And second unit, or the first thing which is given to you is already in hours. So what we have, we just have to write it in the ratio. They are saying hours to day, means to whatever thing which is written in front in, is, will be on top, or we can say it will become the numerator. So 1 is to 24 is the required ratio which they are asked. All right. Now let's just solve one more part. It is given to us that uh, find the ratio for, let's say, 10 meter to 1 centimeter. Okay. So I have told you that you have to, arrange them. You have to convert the unit into same unit. All right, means the terms into same unit. So either you can convert meter to centimeter, or you can convert centimeter to meter. It's totally up to you. For example, from like for in this question, it will be easy to convert meter to centimeter. So we all know 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. Okay. Now 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. This we know. Okay. So we can simply write in the ratio, that is 100 is to 1 is the required ratio which we are just asked for. Okay. Now let's see, moving on to the other thing, like some other type of question based on proportion. Okay. So let's say question is Find the missing term. Okay, so it is given to you. Let's say a box is there, is to 8, is proportion to, let's say 20 is to 10. Okay, so this we have studied previously. I've told you that in proportion you just have to keep one thing in your mind. The ratio of first and second should be equal to the ratio of third and fourth quantity. Okay, so this we know. So what we are doing this because we don't know the number, what should be there inside the box, we don't know. So we are taking it as x. So let the missing number be x. So we can write simply it as x by 8 is equals to 20 by 10. Okay, so this 8 will come this side. So we are just doing cross multiplication, nothing complex. 20 into 8 upon 10. If we just reduce it, so we will be getting 16. So the desired number is what? 16. So 16 is to 8 will be equal to 20 is to 10, or they are in the proportion. Okay. So this is the thing which we are supposed to do. So I hope this thing is clear. Moving on to means, some other type of questions. For example, let's say, mm, let's take another question. Okay. So here comes the question. Find the ratio. In this, you are supposed to find the ratio for the things. Okay. So you just have to, write, you have to just create the ratio, or you just have to find the ratio for this thing. Let's say find the ratio of one, let's take 10 centimeter to 15 meter. Okay, so you are supposed to find the ratio for it. So first you have to convert, either you can convert meter to centimeter or centimeter to meter. Meter to centimeter will be easy for us. So 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So 15 meter will be equal to 15 into 100 centimeter. It will be 1500 centimeter. All right. Now moving on to the next thing. Now we can see the unit are basically same. The quantities are in same unit. So we can convert it now. So it will be 10 is to 1500. It would be if I just reduce this thing. So I will be getting 1 is to 150 is the desired or the simplest ratio which we were supposed to find out. Okay. Taking the same thing, but with different, we can say, units. Okay. So it is right. Let's say 2 hours to, let's say 150 seconds. All right. So now we can convert hours to seconds, or we can also convert seconds to hour. But very easy and the simplest way to solve this question will be to convert hours to seconds. Okay. So we know that 1 hour is equals to how many minutes? 60 minutes. And in 60 minutes, and in 1 minute there is what? 60 seconds. So it will be 60 by 60, means 16 to 60 seconds are there in a minute, sorry, in an hour. So if I talk about for 2 hours, so it would be 2 into 60 into 60. It will be 6 hours, 36. 36 into 2 will be 72, then 0, 0 as it is. Okay. So 7200 seconds are there in 2 hours. Okay. So now just simply write the ratio. 7200 is to 150. You can just reduce it as well. 5 threes are 15, 5 ones are 5, then 12, 5 twos are, then 4s are. So it will be 124 is to 3 as our final answer over here. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Now, we have done, I think multiple questions. Just come to the word problem based question, in which, let's say, a real life based application question in which we can use ratio. Okay. So let's say in a class, the ratio for boy and girl is 2:1. If there are 20 students in total and 5 are girls, so find the number of boys. Okay. So they are saying find the number of boys. Or we can just do it in that way, in total. And you are supposed to find out the means the boys and see. Now just change. I'm just changing the question for a while. Yes, here is the question. Question is this only. Okay. They are saying that the ratio is given to us, like for boys and girls, the ratio is given to us, and the total number of students is given to us. And now they're asking you to find the number of boy and girls. All right, this is your question. So what you are supposed to do here, I'm writing solution over here. They are saying that total is given to you. Total is what? 20 students. So 20 students may few are boys and few are girls, but we don't know how many are boys and how many are girls, but we know the ratio for it. Okay. So boy is to girl is given to us, which is 2:1, let's say. All right. So if I'm just going to solve this thing like this. So 20. Now, first I have to find the sum of ratio. Sum of ratio means we just have to add the numbers which are there in ratio. So sum of ratio is what? Sum of ratio will be 2 plus 1, that is 3. Okay. So now total is given to us. Now we are finding boy. How many boys are there? So boys must be from 20 only. So 20 into 2 by 3. This 2 is for boy and this one is for girls. Okay. So just, uh, you know, just solve this thing, what we will be getting 2 into like 2 into 2 will be 40 by 3. So just divide this thing. So 3 ones are 3 and 1 will be there. So 3 threes are 9 point. Again, it will go like this. So 3.3 can be written as, let's say, because we are just doing the round off thing. So it will be 13 boys. Okay, and if 13 are boys from 20, how many girls are there? So girls must be 20 minus 13. So it would be 10 minus, which means it will be 4, uh, sorry, 7, 7 and yes, 7. 7 are girls. So 13 plus 7 will be 20. So 7 are girls, basically. So from this question, we came to know that if the ratio is given to us, we can divide a particular thing or a number in that particular ratio. Okay, so let's just solve one more question based on this only, this concept. So let me just change the page. Here it is. All right. Let's take another question. Okay. Mm, the ratio for coins to notes is 1:1. If total number of coins and notes all together is 50, find the number of notes and coins. Okay, so they are saying it is given to you. First of all, just see the question. First of all, we will find out ratio, which is already given to us. That is 1:1, means coin is to note. So this one is for coin and this one is for notes. And they are saying that total amount or the total number of coin and note altogether is 50. Okay, but we don't know how many are coin and how many of from them are notes. So we know the ratio, but we don't know the number. So they're asking us to find out the number only. So it will be like this. First of all, we will find out sum of ratio. Okay, sum of ratio is given to you. 1 plus 1 will be 2. Okay, so if we want to find out the number of coins, okay, number of coins we are supposed to find out. So number of coins means 1/2, obviously, of 50. 50 multiplied by 1/2. And if we are talking about number of notes, so it could be 50 by 1/2 only because the ratio is same. So it will be 25. So 25 are coins and same here 25 are notes from the total number which is given to us. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you, in which, in this video, I'm just summarizing the thing which we have studied. First thing, we have understood the concept of ratio and proportion. So we just recall it once. So in ratio, we have studied that ratio is nothing but the comparison of two quantities. Okay. So ratio is the comparison of two quantities, and the symbol for ratio is, two dots, which you can see it is there. Okay. Now, when we are talking about proportion, so proportion is what? Is the comparison of four quantities in which the ratio of first and second quantity is equal to the second and third and fourth quantity. This is what proportion is, and the symbol for representing proportion is basically four dots, which is there inside this box. Okay. So we have understood the concept of ratio and proportion first. After that, we have solved few questions in which we have framed the ratio, like how we are going to frame or find out the ratio for the things. So we have studied that for finding out the ratio for the multiple things, it should be in same quantity. It means the quantity should be in same unit. For example, we can compare hours with hours only. We cannot compare, we cannot, find the ratio for hours to days. In calculation, for our consideration, we have to consider the same unit. So what we are doing here, we have just converted hours. Either we can convert hours to day or we can convert days to hours. Whatever we find it convenient, we can do that. So in this question, we have just converted days to hours. So it was given to us 1 hour to 1 day. So I have converted 1 day, and we know that in 1 day, 24 hours are there. So I have just converted it into hours. So the ratio will be 1 is to 24. Same way with the meter and centimeter, we can convert meter to centimeter, centimeter to meter, but we have to make the common, we have to create a common unit. We have to convert all the numbers into common unit. Then only we will be able to convert it into ratio. After that, we have studied like how to find out the missing number in proportion. So in proportion, there is one rule, which is that ratio of first and second must be equal to the ratio of third and fourth. So using the same rule, we have just solved this thing. It was given to us that box is to 8, proportion 20 is to 10. So we just have write it in terms of fraction, and after that we have just converted it into, means we have sent this 8 this side, just cross multiplied by the number, and we will get the value for x. So this is how we have solved this thing. After that, we have just solved few more questions in which we have used the same concept, which was based on the thing, means converting the quantities into same unit, and then we have just solved the thing, and we have just trained the ratio. And lastly, what we did is, you know finding out the number of means. In this, we have find out the number of coins and number of notes with us when a particular ratio is given to us. So this we have done. We have covered all the major topics which are there when we are talking about ratio and proportion. And I have told you the use of where we are using ratio, where we are using proportion in our day-to-day life. So I hope I have made myself very clear to you. So this is it for the day, and this was the topic, ratio and proportion. So ratio and proportion is not only important just to crack exam or something. It is important to study the and to understand the concept of ratio and proportion in a proper manner, so that we can use this thing in our day-to-day life, and we are able to identify the things that, yes, here we are using ratio, here we are using the concept of proportion, this is how it works. So this is all thing very basic and general thing, but we should be aware about all such things which are happening around us only. So maths is everywhere. It's a matter of just think and to just collect the the conceptual knowledge to apply it into the practical one. So this is all for the day. This was a ratio and proportion from my side, and I hope you really enjoyed the session and learned a good, means basically you have gained knowledge for ratio and proportion. So that's it for the day. Thank you so much.